Does your mind feel like it's overflowing? Endless thoughts, worries, and what-ifs pulling you in every direction? You're not alone. We live in a world that demands so much from us, yet gives us so little time to breathe, to think, to just be. But what if I told you that peace isn't some distant dream? That deep within you there's a clarity waiting to be uncovered, no matter how chaotic life gets? In this video, I'll take you on a journey inspired by timeless Buddhist wisdom designed to help you declutter your mind, rediscover your inner calm, and unlock a freedom you may have forgotten exists, because you deserve peace, and you deserve it now. Let's begin. Lesson 1. The Power of Noble Silence. Buddhist monasteries often practice noble silence, not just avoiding speaking, but quieting mental chatter. Try dedicating one day a week to silence, not just with others, but within yourself. Silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. In that stillness, clarity emerges. Lesson 2. Recognizing the monkey mind. Buddhism refers to the monkey mind, our restless, chaotic thoughts jumping from one idea to another. But here's the key. Don't suppress the monkey mind. Instead, observe it like a playful child. When you simply watch without engaging, the monkey calms down. You reclaim control. Lesson 3. Create a mental offering. Imagine the act of offering flowers or lighting incense at a peaceful temple. There's something calming about it, isn't there? The moment you place that flower or light that incense, it feels like you're letting go of something, offering it up to the universe or to something greater than yourself. This simple yet profound act carries a hidden wisdom that we can apply to our minds. When you find yourself burdened by a troubling thought, maybe a regret, a fear, or a persistent worry, pause for a moment and close your eyes. Picture a small, beautiful altar in your mind. It could be anything that feels sacred to you. A quiet clearing in a forest, a stone bench under a tree, or even a soft glowing light in an open space. Now take that thought that's been weighing you down. Visualize it as a tangible object. It might look like a crumpled piece of paper, a heavy stone, or even a flickering flame. See yourself gently placing this object onto the altar. As it sits there, imagine a soft smoke rising from it, like incense burning away in the air. Watch as the smoke slowly dissolves, carrying away the weight of the thought. You don't have to force it, just let it happen naturally. Allow yourself to feel lighter as you see the thought disappear into the vastness of the space around you. The beauty of this practice is that it doesn't require you to solve or analyze the thought. You're simply releasing it, letting it be transformed into something lighter, something less burdensome. Over time, this act of mentally offering up your worries can become a comforting ritual, a way to cleanse your mind and find a sense of peace, even amidst the chaos of everyday life. This practice is a gentle reminder that not everything needs to be held on to. Sometimes, the most profound freedom comes from the simple act of letting go. Lesson 4. The Concept of Anata. No self. In Buddhism, there's a profound teaching called Anata, which means no self or not self. At first, this idea might feel a little strange. How can there be no self? After all, we spend so much time thinking about who we are, our likes, dislikes, identities, goals, and fears. But this concept holds a deep truth that can help us declutter our minds in ways we may not have thought possible. Think about how much of our mental clutter comes from identifying with everything we experience. For example, when you make a mistake, do you find yourself thinking, "I'm a failure"? Or when someone criticizes you, does your mind spiral into thoughts like, "Why don't they like me? What's wrong with me?" These thoughts stick because we tie them to our sense of self, as if they define who we are. But what if they didn't? Buddhism teaches us that there is no fixed, permanent self. The person you think you are is a collection of ever-changing thoughts, emotions, memories, and experiences. Imagine a river. It looks the same when you glance at it, but the water is always flowing, always changing. In the same way, you're not a fixed entity. You're more like a process, constantly evolving. Here's how this idea can help you clear your mind. When a negative thought or feeling arises, instead of saying, "This is me," try seeing it as something separate. For instance, if you feel angry, you don't have to think, "I am angry." Instead, you can say, "Anger is here." This subtle shift in perspective reminds you that the anger is not who you are. It's just a temporary experience passing through like a cloud in the sky. This doesn't mean you ignore your thoughts or emotions. On the contrary, you acknowledge them fully, but by recognizing that they're not you, you create space between your awareness and the thought itself. That space is where freedom begins. It's like stepping out of a crowded room and realizing you don't have to carry everyone's luggage. Another way to understand this is to notice how our sense of self constantly changes based on circumstances. Think about how you act around your family versus your friends or at work. Are you the same person in all these settings? Of course not. You adapt. You change. This shows how fluid and flexible your self really is. By embracing this idea of no self, you can stop clinging to the labels you've put on yourself or the expectations you feel you need to meet. You don't have to be the successful one, the responsible one, or even the person who has it all together. You're free to simply be, without the weight of defining or defending your identity. This practice takes time, but the more you reflect on anatta, the lighter your mind will feel. You'll start to notice that many of the thoughts that clutter your mind, worries about what others think, regrets from the past, or fears about the future, lose their grip when you stop identifying with them. You're not your thoughts, and you're not your feelings. You're the awareness that observes them, like the open sky watching clouds drift by. When you embrace the truth of no self, you free yourself from the constant need to define, defend, or protect who you think you are. Instead, you live with a sense of openness and curiosity, ready to experience life as it flows, without the clutter of unnecessary attachments to a fixed identity. And in that openness, you find peace. Lesson 5: The Art of Walking Meditation. Walking meditation is one of the most beautiful and practical teachings in Buddhism. While many people think of meditation as something you do sitting in stillness, walking meditation offers a way to bring mindfulness into motion. It's an ancient practice that's both simple and profound, a method to calm your mind and connect deeply with the present moment, one step at a time. Think about how often we walk without truly being aware of it. We're usually in a rush, our minds distracted, our steps hurried. Walking becomes automatic, just another task to get us from one place to another. But walking meditation invites us to slow down and transform an ordinary activity into a sacred experience of mindfulness. To begin, find a quiet place where you can walk without interruption. It doesn't have to be a large space. A small garden, a peaceful hallway, or even a corner of your home will do. Take a moment to stand still and bring your attention to your body. Feel the connection between your feet and the ground. Notice how the earth supports you, steady and solid beneath you. Take a deep breath, letting it flow naturally, and prepare to walk. Not with the goal of reaching somewhere, but simply to experience each step. As you start to walk, slow your pace. Let each movement be deliberate and gentle. Pay attention to the sensation of lifting your foot, moving it forward, and placing it back on the ground. Feel the heel touch first, then the sole, and finally the toes. Notice how your weight shifts from one foot to the other. With each step, silently say to yourself, I am walking. This simple phrase can anchor your mind in the present moment. Your breath can also guide you. Some people match their steps to their breath, one step for each inhale, another for each exhale. Others take a few steps per breath. The key is to find a rhythm that feels natural to you. If your mind starts to wander, don't judge yourself. Gently bring your attention back to your steps and your breathing. Each time you do this, you're training your mind to stay present, like gently taming a wild horse. As you continue, you might notice more than just the act of walking. The sounds around you, the rustle of leaves, the chirping of birds, or even the distant hum of traffic, become part of your awareness. You may feel the warmth of the sun on your skin or the coolness of a breeze. Walking meditation isn't about shutting out the world. It's about opening up to it, fully and completely, without getting lost in thought. This practice has a profound way of decluttering the mind. In our daily lives, we're often so caught up in doing, planning and achieving that we rarely take time to just be. Walking meditation shifts that focus. It reminds us that life is happening right here, in this moment, with each step we take. There's no need to rush or strive. The journey itself is the destination. One of the most powerful aspects of walking meditation is how it can transform ordinary walks into opportunities for mindfulness. Whether you're walking to your car, through a park, or even down a busy street, you can bring this practice with you. You don't have to walk slowly all the time. Simply being aware of your steps and your breath, even for a few moments, can create a sense of calm and clarity. In Buddhism, walking meditation is seen as a way to harmonize body and mind. It teaches us that we don't need to sit in silence to meditate. We can carry that same sense of peace and presence into our everyday movements. Over time, this practice helps us feel more grounded and connected, not just during meditation, but throughout the day. Walking meditation is a reminder that every step we take is an opportunity to return to ourselves. It's a way to declutter the mind, to let go of worries and distractions, and to simply enjoy the act of being alive. So, the next time you walk, even if it's just across your room, take it as an opportunity to slow down, breathe deeply, and experience the miracle of movement, one step at a time. Lesson 6. Mind like the sky. Visualization. The concept of mind like the sky is one of the most beautiful and liberating teachings in Buddhism. It's a visualization that helps us understand the true nature of our minds and how to deal with the endless stream of thoughts, emotions, and distractions that often clutter our inner world. This practice offers a profound sense of freedom by showing us that no matter how stormy or chaotic our thoughts might seem, the mind itself is vast, spacious, and untouched, like the sky. Imagine standing in an open field, looking up at the sky above. The sky is boundless, stretching infinitely in all directions. Sometimes the sky is clear and blue, but other times it's filled with clouds. There might be fluffy white clouds drifting lazily, or heavy, dark storm clouds racing across the horizon. Sometimes the sky holds rain, snow, or even lightning. But no matter what happens in the sky, its nature doesn't change. The clouds, storms, and weather come and go, but the sky remains vast, open, and unbroken. Now, think of your mind as this sky. Your thoughts, emotions, and sensations are like the clouds and weather patterns. They appear, they linger for a while, and then they pass. But here's the key: you are not the clouds, you are the sky. The true nature of your mind is not the fleeting thoughts or feelings that arise. It's the spacious awareness that holds them all. This visualization becomes a powerful tool when your mind feels cluttered. When you're overwhelmed by worries, frustrations, or distractions, take a moment to pause. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Picture your mind as a vast, open sky. Whatever thoughts or emotions are troubling you, Imagine them as clouds. Some might be small and light, barely noticeable. Others might feel heavy and dark, demanding your attention. But instead of engaging with these clouds, trying to push them away or hold onto them, simply observe them. Watch how they move and change. Notice how no cloud stays forever. Even the darkest storm clouds eventually drift away, revealing the clear sky behind them. The same is true for your thoughts and emotions. They might feel intense or overwhelming in the moment, but they are not permanent. They come, they go, and they are not who you are. This practice also helps you shift from identifying with your thoughts to observing them. For example, if you're feeling anxious, instead of thinking, "I am anxious," you can recognize, "Anxiety is like a cloud passing through my sky." This simple shift creates a sense of distance, allowing you to see that the anxiety is temporary and separate from your true self. Another layer of this visualization is recognizing that the sky doesn't judge its clouds. It doesn't get upset when storm clouds appear or celebrate when the sky is clear. It simply allows everything to exist as it is. You can bring this same attitude of non-judgment to your own mind. Whether your thoughts are positive or negative, calm or chaotic, you don't have to label them as good or bad. You can just let them be, knowing that they will pass. Over time, this practice helps you develop a sense of inner peace and clarity. When you stop fighting against your thoughts or trying to control them, you free up the energy that was trapped in resistance. You begin to experience the spaciousness and openness of your mind, the vast clear sky that's always present no matter the weather. This visualization is also a reminder that you don't need to fix or solve every thought or feeling. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply observe, accept, and let go. Just like the sky doesn't cling to its clouds, you don't need to cling to your thoughts. You are the open, infinite space in which they arise and fade. The mind like the sky practice is a gift you can return to again and again. Whether you're sitting in meditation, walking outside, or simply taking a moment to breathe, you can tap into this sense of spaciousness. Remember, no matter how stormy your thoughts may seem, the clear sky of your mind is always there, waiting to be noticed. And in that sky, you'll find freedom. Lesson 7. The middle path of decision-making. The middle path is one of the cornerstone teachings of Buddhism, offering profound guidance not only in spiritual practice, but also in navigating life's daily challenges, including decision-making. It teaches us to find balance and avoid the extremes that often complicate our lives. In decision-making, this concept becomes a powerful tool to declutter the mind, reduce stress, and approach choices with wisdom and clarity. Often, when we face decisions, our minds become a battleground of extremes. Should I work harder or rest more? Should I say yes or no? Should I hold on or let go? These black and white choices create inner tension and mental clutter. The middle path invites us to step away from rigid, all-or-nothing thinking and seek a balanced, harmonious approach instead. To understand the middle path, let's look at its origin. The Buddha himself discovered it after years of experiencing both extremes, luxurious indulgence as a prince and severe asceticism as a monk. Neither extreme brought him peace. It was only when he embraced moderation, avoiding both self-denial and overindulgence, that he found enlightenment. This lesson applies to decision-making, reminding us that wisdom often lies in the space between extremes. Imagine you're faced with a decision that feels overwhelming, like whether to take on a demanding new project at work. One extreme might be to say yes immediately, taking on too much and risking burnout. The other extreme might be to say no out of fear, potentially missing an opportunity for growth. The middle path would involve pausing to reflect on how this decision aligns with your values, goals, and well-being. Instead of reacting impulsively, you could explore a balanced option, perhaps taking on the project but setting clear boundaries to protect your time and energy. This approach helps declutter the mind because it shifts the focus from what's the right or wrong choice to what's the balanced choice. It allows you to step back and view the situation from a broader perspective, considering all factors without becoming fixated on a single outcome. You stop seeing decisions as battles to be won and start seeing them as opportunities to cultivate harmony. The middle path also encourages you to listen to your inner wisdom. When we're caught in the extremes, our minds are often clouded by fear, greed, or attachment. For example, when deciding whether to spend or save money, one extreme might be reckless spending driven by immediate gratification, while the other might be hoarding out of fear of scarcity. The middle path invites you to ask, what choice brings balance? Perhaps it's creating a budget that allows you to save responsibly while still enjoying life. One practical way to apply the middle path is through mindfulness. When faced with a decision, take a moment to breathe deeply and observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Are you leaning toward one extreme out of habit or fear? What would happen if you considered a middle ground? This mindful pause can reveal options you might not have seen in the heat of the moment. Another aspect of the middle path is embracing flexibility. Decisions aren't always permanent, and the middle path reminds us that it's okay to adjust as circumstances change. For instance, if you decide to pursue a new career path, you don't have to go all in at once or abandon it completely. You might start by exploring it part-time, testing the waters before committing fully. This flexible approach reduces the pressure of feeling like every decision is final. It's important to remember that the middle path isn't about compromise in the sense of settling for less. It's about finding a solution that honors all parts of yourself, your needs, your aspirations, and your well-being. It's about making decisions that create alignment and peace rather than conflict and stress. Ultimately, the middle path of decision-making is an invitation to trust the process. It teaches us that life isn't a series of rigid either-or choices, but a flowing journey of balance and harmony. By avoiding extremes and seeking the middle way, you not only simplify your decisions, but also cultivate a mind that is calm, clear, and free from unnecessary clutter. In this balanced state, you can navigate life with wisdom and grace, one choice at a time. The journey to declutter your mind is not about perfection, it's about progress. Each step you take, each moment of mindfulness, brings you closer to the peace you deserve. Remember, you are not alone in this. Every thought you face, every emotion you hold is part of the shared human experience. And in the vast, limitless space of your mind, there is room for clarity, for calm, and for transformation. Take this wisdom with you, not as a set of rules, but as gentle reminders of the peace that already exists within you. Life is a journey, and your mind is the compass. Treat it with care, with patience, and with love. You are capable of so much more than you realize. If today's words have sparked something within you, hold on to that spark. Let it grow, let it guide you. You are worthy of peace, of joy, and of a life free from the weight of unnecessary burdens. Thank you for allowing me to walk this path with you. I believe in you, and I hope you do too.